Yeah, I have this thing where the hard drive is sitting right. Yeah, freezer time. There we go. That would probably fix it. That's all. Better put the such a frenzy. I've misplaced. There it is. You'll do that sometimes. Assumption one. Oops. Almost. Something rather important. There we go. And boom. And hopefully now. Anyway, not sure how's the best way to get. There we go. There's it. Oh, look at that. That's a bit pretty. I know what I might do before I glue that in. Wait, it can't. Oop. Right. Nice. All right, now we've just got. Oh wow. That should be plenty. Boom. That's very pretty. All right. Well, now we're getting there. And let those parts dry for a little bit. And now, let's put that over there. That up to here. Boom. Now, thank you. Now I'm going to do a bit of work on this little number now. Sorry about that interruption. It's every now and again my hard drive drops out for some reason. I'm not quite sure what the deal is. I think it's that I'm. Yeah, thank you. I think it's that it's because I record my streams on an external hard drive, and I'm wondering if there's something going on with that. I digress. But yeah, now our yonkers. Now, something I should do while I think of it. There's a bit of plastic that goes in here. Yes, that is correct. This particular little number will have the markings of a chappie named Werner Bombach, who got a big award from Hitler for basically sinking a shitload of shipping. It's the nuts and bolts. 300,000 tons, I believe it is. Now, give me a moment. I'm just trying to. No, these aren't. I thought I had the right piece of clear plastic in here. It doesn't look big enough. Even close to big enough. If not, I do have a backup option. I always have backup options, and this is definitely not the part. What I might want to consider, give me a brief moment. Yes, I do. When I first got back, here we go. Looks kind of small, but hey, I believe that's the right part. Yes, I do. When I first started getting interested in getting back into modeling, I was given, well, I was looking at a few things and I heard about this thing called airbrushing. I'd heard of it, and fortunately for me, a good friend of my housemates, who's since become a good friend of mine, was, or is, he does more Warhammer sort of stuff now, but he has done aircraft and he knew how to airbrush. So, yeah, right. So I just saw your comment about the. So what I might want to do is set up saving to my internal one, and then I can always export it to the external. It's not a big trick. I'm going to give that a whirl, buddy. Thank you. Yes, I do. Anyway, getting back to the airbrushing. Anyway, he showed me the tricks of the trade, and you know, it's as a thing to do. It's not that hard, I find. It does give a much nicer job. Let's see how this. Where would the other? It's, this is one of their older cuts of kit. Um, they can be quite clunky, I find, whereas their newer ones are really nice. It's okay. There is another way around this. Yeah, thanks. Now the issue I'm having with this, a couple of issues. Okay, first let's get the tried and tested solution for smooth. I'm going to put this over here so I don't knock it somewhere. That's all too easily done. So there we go, even that out a bit. There's a bit that was sticking out. That's never going to help your cause. Get that up there. Now, something I should also consider. If you look here, you can see the hole's not quite even either. That's the blind man. Now, that gives us a few conundrums. Now I don't necessarily want to try file that. I think that would probably be a bad move. Or would it? Let us find out. Thing I find curious about, I've got a file that's already out, would appear. Anyway, talking to myself here, right? Is how geometric it is. I find it kind of funny. Like with the British cam, you got the wavy line action going on. The US ones often don't seem to have much, but to be fair, they were flying in daylight, so the reflection was probably. I reckon that'll fix it. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I was using this to sand out there a bit. I think that might fix our little conundrum with regards to. Here's a bit of a score I got. My mum used to do miniatures, but her shoulders are frozen so badly she no longer can. So boom. That's why she gave me these. I'll tell you, absolute asset. If you think of getting yourself a set of small files or whatever, do it. They really are good. Well worth the. Well, okay, I didn't have to invest anything, but I would suggest they're well worth the money. Certainly are, mate. I didn't fully appreciate that until such time as I had them, if you follow me. There we go, look at that. What we can do, is we're actually gonna paint, before I put this in, a little bit of acrylic silver around that, because that'll help bring it up as like the light does. Boom, there we all go. So, we'll do that. Then we're gonna put certainly one side of that the upper canopy in. Then we might get back to put the last. Oh my god! Almost the last part. In fact, we can do the last bits on the Messerschmitt. That's a bit good. Nah, I didn't. There's a few things I have done. Obviously, part of it is that there's no spectacular need to, in as much as you can see, you don't actually see that much inside on 1:72. But what I have done is try to make that you can see the pilots clearly and things of that variety. One of the things, like I said, this is an older pressing of Airfix's stuff. One of the things I did discover, a bit frustrating, was that some of the bars on the canopy here, and indeed there, weren't properly painted up, marked out. So I had to sort of go, right, well, I guess it's here. Tape it up and do it. But I think I pulled that off. Oh, wait, I've got another. Oh, sorry, I thought that was still again. No, I didn't, Darth Mocker. How you doing, buddy? Got another chatter. This is most excellent. Excuse me while I get a mouthful of coffee. I did on. Give me a moment. Actually, no. Before I show you what I get distracted so easily. First, I'm going to put that. Now. First thing I'm going to do is that natural steel thing I was talking about before, because then I've got that done while it's in my mind. I did a little bit of weathering on the footrests of the 109, but in truth, you're probably not going to see much of that. Shake. Just noticed Nagantech. Yeah, well, hey, um, acquiring from what you need is always a good thing. So, Darth, you got any builds in progress? Now, yeah, a little bit. Gonna move that otherwise much invariably. Wow. Guess we'll do that. In a fairly short period of time that will dry. At which point, SMS. Yeah, look, I can give them a positive review. Um, okay, in simple terms, bam, there you go. That is what I've delivered there. The reason I got onto them, and I had them actually recommended to me by a guy at a shop. I had been using enamels. Indeed, I had been using not Tamiya, umbrella enamels to airbrush, and of course you have to thin them down, yada yada yada. Anyway, I was going to get some more, and they didn't have the colour I was after, and I was talking to the guy at the shop. Yes, they are Australian. Yes, mate. Um, the that's what. In fact, so they're so Australian. I'm surprised that amongst the different selection of black colours, there's not Vegemite black. That's the only black they don't have. Um. Anyway, couldn't help myself. Point being that yeah, the great part about them, in very straight terms, you want to use them, pick up, shake, 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 shake. That's it. You shake. Obviously, you got to shake till you mix them properly, but shake, pour, you're good to go. Fantastic. And for ease of purpose, look, I'll tell you free of charge. That's great, you know. Um, ah, but yeah, okay. Oh well, these things happen, Darth. Um, but yeah. Anyway, getting back to SMS. But yes, I found them to be really good. Now, when you put them on with a brush, it's a little trickier. Um, what you got to consider is that what that more for designed for is airbrushing. Um, and in that regard, you they don't go on as nicely with a brush as some other colours, but what you do is you try and, as you would expect, try and get a nice colour going. You tend to more work it in than brush it on quickly. You just work. Once you get a nice solid colour, it can come up really nicely. I tend to just do that with touch-up work. When it comes to such things as detailing your pilots and stuff, I still tend to use acrylics just because lots of colours, small area, get them all done in one session. Ah, oh well, glad you enjoy it, mate. Pleased to be of service, as it were. Now, so yeah, that's my review on SMS airbrushing. Now, what we can do, okay, probably utilize a set of tweezers and come from the other side, I think. So that Nice and easily. Not so easily. Okay, maybe from this angle. Not quite sure why they chose to do it this way if they're not going to have an exposed cockpit, you know what I mean? Sorry, at the moment you're probably getting a great view of my hand. It's almost right. If we get to there, I'll be able to. Oh, there we go. So that's how it's going to sit, is it? Okay. Yeah, as I feared, not quite a nice fit, but it's not bad. So it'll sit like that for us. Oh, Papaduki, how you doing? All right. So now that we've got that assessed, we will. Boom. Just a couple of touches of glue there, and then she'll go, hopefully. And I'll let that dry, and I'll do the other side later. Well, not later. I just want that to settle, because otherwise I can see I'm going to knock it around and I'll get grumpy. Interestingly, I actually used to play Grumpy in a when I was in grade 3, full production of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I was Grumpy. Reason to believe I was sufficiently happy about playing Grumpy that I would beam cheerfully. I said, I'm grumpy. No, Rob, you're supposed to look like you're unhappy. Oh, I'm grumpy. What do you want? I was, what, 8, 9 years old? Jesus. Let's go ahead even a bit. There we go. Good. Happy with that. Actually, I can see why from a pressing viewpoint it's probably better that they did it that way, because if you look, itchy sketch, hang on. Okay, you can see that sort of goes, there's that bit and then it sort of balloons out. I would suggest, probably if it was zoomed in, it would be a bit better. There you go, you can see how it sort of balloons out. And I would suggest that the reason that's probably why they didn't actually do it as one piece. I would say it would be pretty hard to pull off. So yeah, makes sense. I can see why they'd do that. Now, well, oh no, I won't put the aerial in yet. I'll wait. Once I've got the other piece in position, then I'll put the aerial in. I'll do it straight away. So we're getting there. It's all starting to come together. Excellent. Now, next, we can zoom out. Oh, that's trying. Yeah. 109 time. So, where's our... There's our... should sit very easily. Two nice little spots for it. I've got to say again, to me, fantastic work. Now, the only thing I'm going to check, I'd say tweezers would be a good option. Delete that. Good. Oops. We completely everything. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, Jesus, guys, that's without glue. Look at that. No glue, and she just sits there. How sexy is that? Well happy with that. All right. Well, better glue it in then, hadn't I? Fantastic. Then, I would say, might as well as put the aerial on. Might even get the aerial wire at me. The dust magnet pose. I never thought of calling it. Yeah, yeah, it is a thing, isn't it? I like having my cockpits open just so you can show off your dash and all the rest of it. But yeah, once I got that on, I reckon I'll put the aerial on. And now here's a quick question: have I got any sprue ready? No, you have to stretch some sprue from scratch to do the aerial. Doing it the other way I did was probably easier. Let's see what I was doing. That's make I have to remember that one. That's fun. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Rob, you did this so easily before. What are you doing? Here we go. There we go. Jesus. Yeah, I can need that. I can need a hole in the head. But Jesus, look at that. Still sits bang. Boom. So if it's sitting that sweetly, got to be kind of happy. All right. Aerial. So doing that. Because then it's just the aerial wire. Yeah. Feeling very chipper about all of that. Now then. Here we go. Boom, one aerial. All right. I believe I need a mouthful of coffee. Oh yeah. Now, let's get this done, shall we? And giggity. Before I do, quick little. Also done the. Already got the fuel tank on. Yeah. She's taken it, given it a bit of weathering, a bit of a hammering. And after all, at this stage of his career, how about shot down 100? So hey, you'd figure it'd look a bit rough. Okay. Good phases. And we have a pretty big hand. Oh, looky that. Okay. Oop. I can't say I've ever spilled coffee into the cockpit. One thing I will fess up to, I was building a. Have you ever tried building an RS model? I had an air copper. I wanted to do an air copper RS models. Found one. Yeah, okay, no worries. And nuts and bolts. Yeah, don't. That's my advice. You don't. I don't know if they've improved, but aside from, I was on camera when it went wrong too. I and boom. Yee ha. She done. Well, by and large, anyway. Okay, now my experience with RS models was not good, and I'm not alone in that, I believe. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going. Looky at the G6. Now, I need to get some aerial wire on that, but I should let the aerial settle first. Now, well, that suggests to me, good people. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah. Anyway, RS models. Yeah, I had a whole stack of. There were things I liked about it and things I didn't. Now, I guess that's not a biggie on its own, but there was a lot of flush, so much so that I ended up trying to trot out sprue cutters on bits so I could get the wings together and ended up taking a chunk of wing out. I persevered, fully against my better judgment. And, oh, look, yeah, very chipper. Very chipper about that. Really keen to get the aerial wire on just to. And this will be my fourth Luftwaffe Ace, so I'll have my own little form. That's Hartman. I've got Galland. I've got Vic. And I've got Marseille. So yeah. Yeah, right. But yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm just a bit of afterglow now. I should probably lean back and have a cigarette and ask the model if he wants to get some breakfast sometime. Um, don't mind me. Now, other thing. Whilst that's doing its settle thing. Actually, you know what I'm going to do before I get stuck into the Youngers? I'm just going to move this over here to zoom out. And whilst, because what I'll be getting on to next week, this. Here is our next one. Now, I'm not doing Klosterman, well, despite the fact him being the guy on the front. I have Klosterman in an Eduard, 1:72, and I'm going to need a hold and fold for that one. Thank you. The one I'm doing on this one is this chappie here, Buzz Burling. There's two reasons why I'm doing him. One is he was Canada's top scoring ace. And as such, well, there's a good win. Got to have the same way. I like to go. Like to build aces, and famous bombers. In this instance, he's pretty famous. The other reason I'm pretty keen to build this one is because my nephew is half Maltese. He's actually in Malta at the moment, and this guy flew out of Malta by and large. There you go. So that's what I'm building next, the AZ model. AZ, you've got some really good kits, by the way. Oh, sorry, mate. How's about? Just okay, yeah. So here's our kit. It's an AZ model. The guy they've got on the front is Pierre Klosterman. Now, as I mentioned, I've got him in a Eduard kit. Yeah, look, AZ are pretty good. The only downside to their kits, but I have a solution, is that the canopy is closed. It's a crying shame because they've got some really nice cockpit detail. Now, what I have, however, to my to fix that little conundrum is this. Here's the handle. The handle's over there. That doesn't matter. So I gave it a trial run on a canopy to see if it would, how cleanly it would cut. I used that before on a, getting back to our kit, to chop the front end off of an Airfix 109E4. I put it on the front end of a AZ 109E4 just because I wanted engine detail with a nice open cockpit, and partly for the same reason that, well, dog licks its nuts because it can. Now, that came out really well. It was also one of my favourite pilots. It was Gallant. A bit of a ledge. Now, the point is, yeah, this is the guy I'm doing, as I said, Buzz Burling. Fairly standard sort of cam. Nothing particularly tricky in that regard. The kit itself looks pretty straightforward. Well, actually, tell you what, mate. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'll give you a. I'll give you a bit of a. I've done this before, and this will actually. I've done it once, and it came up a treat. As far as on the trial run, and if I pull it off cleanly twice, then I'll know it's definitely a goer. Now I'll show you what's going to happen. Now, this is actually, I was given a 410. Didn't have all the parts in the end, but it's useful for all sorts of things. And in this instance, it's useful for an experiment. Now, here we go. Now, what I'll be doing I'll zoom in just a little so you can see what I'm waffling about. Now, you can see where, okay, say hypothetically, we'll run with that as our, hang on, let me just make sure, yeah, there we go. We'll run with that as our scene point, shall we? As a point where we're trying to create a separation between the 2 points, so it's imagining click, yeah? So, zoom me back out for a moment. So if I pull this off a second time, I'll feel very chipper, because it means that it's absolutely a goer. Now, these ones are pretty straightforward. Go. There we go. Now, the biggest thing I found was the really important thing was to make sure, obviously, it was stable. No, this isn't going to lead to the death of a kit, mate. This part is something that I would just from a kit that I use for those occasions when maybe I've lost a part or whatever. So I don't mind using this canopy for that very purpose. Now we're going to use a bit of blue tack. I don't know what you call it. The country you're in Australia, we call it blue tack. I believe in America it's silly putty, whatever you want to call it. This stuff. Go into there. And that should give us a nice stable platform. Now, make sure that we've lined it up. Get through there. And you don't want to cut. Hang on. Can't quite see, I don't think. There we go. Now you can maybe. A bit further. Hang on, bring that down. There we go. Okay. Now, we're going to get a bit of base. Oh no, you can see quite well. Okay, so I'm going to use my finger there to guide it. As I said, you don't want to saw too fast. There we go. Boom. Now, take that out. Boom. Boom. Now that's a bit rough as far as accuracy goes, I guess. But at the end of the day, you can see that so long as you get that accuracy, problem not there. I probably should have gone, if I wanted to be precise, I'll probably even use these as a thing of practicing my accuracy on by just using that part there and that part there before I do actually do that on a live model. But, yeah. There we go. So it's a fairly clean sort of a cut. Yeah, pretty easy. That was it. That's all you got to do. So anytime you've got an open canopy that you want to get open, bam, just blue tack it in, make sure you got your line right, and clean as a whistle, man. Boom. It's a bit good, isn't it? What a ripper! Yeah, nice one. I'll pay that. Here's another you beauty one for you. Actually, I'll fully lay it on for you. Yeah, she's a bit grouse, mate. Do something funny. when I was younger, and actually, here's something I'll also show you. Give us a moment. Yeah. Here's something that also I utilised that saw on, and I'm a wee bit proud of this one. Now this is my Galland. The reason I'm a wee bit... Oh, yes, that's what I was going to tell you. When I was a kid, I used to hear actors and actresses from America and the US do an Australian accent. I heard this nasal twang. I thought, oh, we don't sound like that. Then I went to Thailand. Don't know if you've ever been to Thailand. Their accent's actually quite soft, I find. All very, wade, popcorn. I strolled up to this counter and chirped out with, yeah, g'day, mate. I've got, oh my God. Oh my God. We do so sound like that. This is just content. Anyway, now, let me just correct something on this. Anyway, this is the front end of this is Airfix with the engine. The 109E4 has an engine. Now, the fuselage is, and I really like their engine too, by the way. I'll give you a good close look at it. I like it. There it is. Now, one of the things, there was a few things I really liked about this kit. Galland had a unique, Galland's E4 was different to others in terms of it didn't have a nose cannon. Interestingly, it does have one there. Now, if you look closely, see that little seam? That's where I used the saw to go through to get the Airfix engine on the AZ fuselage. The wings are Airfix, but the reason I wanted the, where are we? We get the light right. AZ have a really nice dash that I enjoy painting. Really nice sort of interior stuff. So yeah, wanted the open cockpit, which at that stage I was unaware I could have just sawed. I got the FX kit for it and I put the engine on it, and it came out kind of nicer than maybe a straight AZ. Something I'm going to quickly do. Give me a moment. That aerial is bothering me. I actually can't see what I'm doing. But yeah, that's another great thing with regards to what do we call it? Having a saw. I recommend. It opens a few doors for you that you might want to out yet or what? You might not otherwise have. I've really found it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to using it to open up the Spitfire canopy. No, the engine is Airfix. Yeah, I had to saw the engine off of an Airfix. Here we go. That's the that's the actual AZ. That's the AZ front end there that would originally have gone there onto the fuselage, and here's the Airfix fuselage. I put the thing in there just to hold it firm, to hold it all in position, and yeah, there we go. Yeah, look, look, I can certainly understand a bit of trepidation with regards to the transparent parts, but now that I've seen how easy it is, I'm certainly happy to give it a whirl. What I will do, however, and I think you probably concur is a sensible idea, go for a few more practice runs on it. You don't want to be, that's an idea. You know, that didn't actually occur to me. Why not? Why not? Got a shitload of spare parts, as you can imagine. But yeah, so that's fun and games to be had with the saw all on its own. Yeah, these are things. I'm and as I said, the other thing about having the saw that I'm speculating about doing is I want to do a link with the excuse me, I'll just pop this one back. Tall boy. 1 minute, I should put the bloody where's his engine canopy? Deary me, Robster. That may require modifications with the saw. That option exists. So yeah, these are all options. Actually, here we go. Actually, I won't put it away just yet. I'm gonna do a bit of showing off. I am. We'll pop Garland there. I'm gonna have to maybe move out a bit for you to see properly. They're very freshly finished. Yeah. Out the way. Moment. So, there's my swarm of blue puffer races. We've got two E4s, an F4 and a G6. That's the first 109 I ever built. That's the 109 F4 of Hans Joachim Marseille. You can see, hang on, I'll just swap that over for a moment. You can see that I had a bit of difficulty with the canopy. Bit of a pity that. But on the whole, was pretty happy with how that came up. The tail decals aren't quite correct. They've started to wear off, in fact. There we go. There we go. But they should be higher up. And yada, yada. Anyway, but that's my say. Move him around. Then I did Vic, which is this chappy here. It's an E4. Being an Airfix one, it comes with the engine and the open cockpit, which of course, as I wax lyrical about with Galland, is what I fixed on the AZ with that. Pretty much identical paint job to Galland, difference being in the nose cone. You'll see Galland's pointed, Fix is not. Galland has a cannon in his machine gun in his cockpit. Fix does not. Other differences, by this stage you can see I was starting to put aerial wire on. I don't have an aerial wire on that one. I suppose I could see that now, but yeah. There we go. finally, of course. Then I did Garland, and now I have Hart. There we go. So yeah, there's my swarm of Luftwaffe races. Feeling a bit good about that. Now, and yeah, okay, now I'm going to put these three, well, I'll put them back. Still haven't quite finished that one, obviously, because I want to put aerial wire on it. Put them back. Then we can do a bit more on the Junkers. We'll put that other piece of upper canopy in. Look, I'm a fan, I've got to say, of the Airfix E4. Here we go. If you're going for an E4, Airfix, yeah. Open cockpit, engine detail, dead sexy. Goes together pretty nicely. You're on a win. If you're looking for a G6, do not go past Tamiya. It's a pretty simple equation. Now, when you're talking 109s and you're looking just for sheer diversity of 109s, AZ are your friends. Indeed. I tell you guys, these conversations, you provoke me into displays. Wait here. Let's pop them back where they come from. Then another thing I'd make mention of with regards to 109s, on my Vic, the yellow I used was actually trainer yellow. That the Brits or the RAF used to use. The colour you actually want is Gelb, which is a different yellow, but the difference is quite distinct. Trainer yellow is more of a, all right, now, here we go. Well, there is that to it now, isn't there? Okay, here we go. Now, when it comes down to the nitty-gritties of which one to build next, as far as which 109, I have a number of options. And I'll even show you why I have each of these particular kits, because there are reasons why I have every kit. I might get this out of the way so I don't knock it, because nobody wants that to happen. Certainly I don't. Now, first up we have, we'll get you up a bit higher. Let's see how that looks. Seeing enough there? Yeah, probably. Yep, there we go, this one. Now, the reason I wanted this one was for that. I've actually got that very same kit, in a sense, in 1:48 from being a member of the Airfix Club. Now, its size makes it a bit of a thing. But here we go. One with RAF markings. And it's just something a bit different for me. That's my only real reason. A bit different. Now, I've got this one because I want to give this one Give me a moment while I start deciding where I'm going to put things. Put that up there for the time being. I'm going to get this one, Barkhorn. Barkhorn's the only other pilot other than Hartmann to score over 300 aerial victories. Boom. So there's that one. That's an F4, so I'll be doing that. I got this one. Now this one, I think this was Moulders I got it for. Yep. Or Priller. I think it was Priller actually, because I've got another Moulders. I've got Moulders in an Avis, and he's in a 109 D4. Was it D? The D anyway, is the bottom line. I've got this one for Priller. So yeah, another race, slightly different markings. Then I have, now this is a bit of an unusual one. This one I got because I wanted a 109G, but this is a bit unusual in as much as you don't really, G14s weren't that common. I didn't have anybody specific who I will probably make it of in mind. I will probably roll with this one. Something different. Yeah, that makes sense. I have this kit twice, it would appear, and the reason I would have it twice is so as I can do Moulders in an E3. Oh, they are, mate. They totally are. But wait, there's more. Now, then there's this one. Another interesting one. I could do Russian. Yes. Yeah, it would be back when before the invasion, or Hungarian. But I want to do the Japanese. I know that a couple of E3s, no, E7, sorry, were sent to Japan along with a Focke-Wulf actually for R&D. I believe the Japanese preferred the handling of the Zero, but did like the power plant. Now, I'm not sure if they started manufacturing the power plant at any stage, but yeah, boom. Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yes, they would be. I actually, something that FX do make is an Aichi Vi, which is one of the ones that flew actually at Pearl Harbor. So that would be kind of cool too. Now I got this one for the prototype purposes of the E3, which is that paint job there, kind of rather different paint job. And that's what I got it for as much as anything else, the paint job. An unusual, what I would really, really like is a prototype 109, like before the 109A even came out of its own. Just the prototype 109. From memory, now what was its insignia? Can't recall offhand. Be that as it may. That's the prototype. And finally, very rare, really rare sort of an aircraft, the 109H. Now that was a high altitude aircraft. I believe it got taken down, I think, because of the ME262 was getting a lot of favour at that stage. It was, and in this instance, I will probably. This guy's clearly got a few racked up. Velik. Probably do those ones. Particularly if that's again a slightly unusual sort of colouring on painting. I'll give that a whirl. But that's a different one again. You don't, and not too many 109Hs were made. And one of the things that's interesting about them is they have a much longer wingspan than the low altitude friends. So yeah, a little bit different on that regard. So yeah, that's my AZ 109s, and look, they've got a shitload more. Now there is a 109 that I'd be very keen to get hold of. That is actually from now what was the company? They do a 109 K4 with Hartmann's insignia when it is achieved his 352nd victory. Give me a moment, it'll come to me. Fine molds. Well, yeah. Fine molds anyway. They do a 109 K4, and I want to get a K4 with, as I said, Hartmann's markings for that milestone or for that particular aircraft. I also have another 3 109s in my stash that are Avis. They are B, C, and D. I thought the 109A hadn't seen active service in Spain, but it had. Very keen to get one of those. Look, I'm inclined to agree with that statement from what I've seen, mate. They certainly have some. Now that I finished waffling, I can pop this clear piece in. Well, I think. Oh, I can actually know where that is. It'll be a rare privilege. Give me a moment. No, I can't. Don't be. Okay. Now that's going to require me to get down on my hands and knees. Yeah. Oh dear. Outside. I'll do that later. Oh, my bloody thing's dropped out again. That's a bit annoying. Look, I'm going to cut the stream again. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, my hard drive has dropped out again, which may well interfere with the visuals. I believe it does. Not finding my clear piece. The worst case scenario, I have a backup plan. What I'm going to do. Well, if you're cruising off, what I might do. Thanks for swinging past, by the way. I really do appreciate that. What I might do, guys, for everybody else who's here, I've got to cut the stream to restart it anyway. Given that I need to find that clear piece, I might just wind the stream up, find clear piece. I'll do some of the other bits on the Yonkers later. off camera and have it all ready for display on Monday, and we can get stuck into some other aircraft on Monday. Also, the first session on Monday's armour. I'll be doing some work on the Staghound. Alrighty, now I'll wind things up. Around to there. Line out. Oops, a daisy. Oh, my pleasure, mate. Yeah, well, if you can swing past, that'd be great. Now, yeah, thanks for watching. Anybody else who's been watching, again, really appreciate it. Very grateful indeed. Pity about the hard drive dropping out. I'm going to try putting it through to my internal hard drive. That may make a difference indeed. All right. In the meantime, I'm also going to try and find that clear plastic piece. Now, for those of you watching for the first time, yeah, we all know the drill. There's a magic button. Follow, like, subscribe. And you may also choose to track me down on other platforms. I am Rob the Builder on, what am I Rob the Builder on? Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. And Robster the Builder on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. You all know the drill, people. Follow, like, subscribe. Alrighty, thank you heaps for watching. Again, really appreciate it. I will be back now. It'll be Monday morning Australian time. So Sunday afternoon, no, Sunday evening in Europe, and Sunday morning or early afternoon in the US, whichever you happen to be in. But yeah, I'll be back in due course, and we'll be there for all the action and excitement that modelling brings. Catch you then. Thank you.